Hey guys, Flamingo here, your coach of the Kooparoo Crabhammers. Today we have another team reveal. This time it's with the Sandbox Draft League, and it's a Little Cup VGC Draft League. We're in the Twin Leaf Division, which is Series 10 rules, which means no max. So I've got a little bit of Little Cup experience in the VGC realm, but not with no max. So this should be an interesting one for us. So like I said, Little Cup with VGC Series 10 rules, which means no max. We get 11 picks. We get a guaranteed 1 tier 1, 2 tier 2s, 2 tier 3s, 2 tier 4s, and then we have 110 points that we can spend on 4 free picks, which include a tier 0, similar to what the Great Lakes Draft League does. So going into it, my draft process was I wanted Wallaby, which is tier 0. And I wanted to exploit tier 4 as much as possible because I'm going to have to take at least 3 tier 4s because Wallaby's tier 0. But I actually chose to take 4 tier 4s. I also wanted to get a fuckload of fake out. Similar to my MDL team, I didn't want to have fake out pressure built up onto 1 or 2 Pokemon. So I got a lot more of that. I got some really cool picks. And the other thing is I had a bit of an emphasis on bulk. Because this is non-max, I think you can afford to have a bit bulkier teams and be able to stall out sort of hyper-offensive teams a bit more. So let's start with my first pick. I'm not going to go in pick order. I'm going to go start at Wallaby, my tier 0, and then work our way from tier 4 up to tier 1 because I think some of my tier 4s are super good. So first of all, Wallaby. It's my tier 0. Let's make this a bit bigger now. Where are you? Window capture. Thank you. Let's make you a bit bigger. I think we can make you even bigger. Let's get Wallaby to take up the screen. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. So my first pick is Wallaby. It's got a base stat total of 370, which is really good for Little Cup. Gives me a lot of bulk. I really like using Mandibuzz, so I thought, should build around Wallaby. It isn't my highest base stat total Pokemon though, even though it is my tier 0. And like I said, it was my first pick, and it's kind of what I wanted to build my draft around. So next we're going to go through my tier 4. So my first tier 4 pick, it's one of my fake out mines, is Meowth. Now, it has 290 base stat total, which is my lowest, which is pretty good for Little Cup. So I feel I've done really well to keep that base stat total high. Meowth has 2 really good abilities I can use in Unnerve and Tough Claws. So one more supportive and one that is more offensive. So that'll be really good. This was my 3rd pick overall. I knew the Steel type was going to be important. And the fact that it was in tier 4, I thought it was a bit of a steal. Even though its base stat total is not quite as high as I'd like it. So that was my 3rd pick. My 4th pick, I got Golett from tier 4. Its base stat total is 303. And it's got 3 really good abilities. And one is less usable, that's Klutz. But it has Iron Fist, which gives it some good offensive prowess. But then it's also got No Guard, so I can use some really inaccurate moves and just do big damage that way. So it was my 4th pick overall. It gives me ground and ghost typing. The thing with Little Cup is dual typing is not as common as a regular draft league, just because as Pokemon evolve, they gain new types. So this is a really cool one to have on my team. And it's got quite a good attack stat, things like base 75 or something like that. And for this format, that's pretty good. And very good coverage. Has access to like the elemental punches, ghost, normal, rock, ground fighting. So it has lots of really good coverage, and I'm super stoked to give this one a go. Next, my 9th pick from tier 4 is Eevee. It's got a base stat total of 325, which is really bloody good, and it has the adaptability ability, which means off its base, I think 55 and 45 attack and special attack respectively. I'm going to get a 2 times boost rather than a 1.5 times boost to my normal moves, which I think is yeah, it was kind of busted for a tier 4. And the fact that it didn't get picked for so long, yeah. And I also needed a ghost resistance, because I was starting to build up a bit of a ghost weakness. Even though I got the Vullaby, which is like super good against ghost, I still wanted that immunity. And so yeah, so we got our tier 4 pick in Eevee. My final pick for tier 4, I was actually aiming for Snowrun. It's got a base stat total of 300, and it has Inner Focus and Moody, and that would have been absolutely nuts, but some fuckhead drafted it before me. So my last pick is Kavana. Get speed boost, and it is a good mixed attacker. It has 90 based attack. It's my second highest attack stat, and it's got base 65 special attack, which is not bad for this format. Its defenses are absolutely rubbish. Base 20, and then I think it's base 40 attack. HP. Its speed stat is quite nice. It's 65. I feel like base 70 is the equivalent of about base 100 in a standard league, and then I think the peak speed stat is base 95. So that would be looking at like your equivalent of your 130s. So this got 65, so it's just under sort of that 100 threshold, but it's got speed boost, which is absolutely nuts. Has flip turn, which is really cool. So you'll be seeing that, I think, a bit during the season. And like I said, I can run physical or special on this, or mixed, which is really nuts. Next pick this was my second pick, and it's got base 355 base stat total, which is absolutely nuts. And it's Esper, so it's a psychic type. Has fake out, so it was my first fake out mon. Galarian Meowth was the second fake out mon I picked up, and I've got 2 more, so I've got 4. So that fake out pressure is spread out across the team. So I'm really happy with this. It's also my only Trick Room setter, which could be not the greatest, since it's like base 60 something speed, but it can hit decently hard and take hits really well. I've done a couple calcs in my first few weeks, and this might be something I need to bring. Next is Squirtle. So Squirtle is the first part of my Firewater Grass Call. Has base stat total of 314, so great, it's over that 300 mark, and it was my 7th pick overall. This is a really good support piece. Has that fake out again, so there's my 3rd fake out mod. Has things like Life Dew and Helping Hand. So I think this can be a really good supporting piece, or I can slap a scarf on it and just water spout the fuck out of shit. But it also helps with my one of my tier 2 picks and the grass part of my Firewater Grass Call. So my other tier 2 is Salandit, and it has base 320 stat total, and it was my 6th pick overall. I was starting to get a bit of a fairy weakness between my tier 0 and tier 1 picks, so Vullaby, and you'll find out at the end, is my 4th fake out mon. Gives me poison and fire coverage, which is actually pretty good into this. Has 2 good abilities. One prevents being taunted, so I can fire off Toxics and Will-O-Wisps to my little heart's content, or I can poison steel and poison types with the corrosion ability. It has lots of good fire coverage and some really good offensive support moves too. So I'm looking forward to using Salandit. I think it's going to be a big part of my season. Next is my 8th pick, which is Lilip, which has got a base stat total of 355 and is my slowest Pokemon on the team, base 23 speed. So between my next Pokemon, which is going to be my fastest, and Lilip, I've got really good range of speeds. Has a Storm Drain ability, so I have got a few water weaknesses in my Golett and my Salandit so far, and so this just lets me keep those guys protected. I can also surf with one of my water types to keep this getting special attack boosts. I think this is actually slightly bulkier than Vullaby. So I think Vullaby and this are going to be using the Eviolite most of the time. So yeah, that's really looking forward to using this one. I have this in the MDL as well, but I think it's going to be doing a bit more work here than it will in the MDL. Next is Cutiefly, which is my fastest Pokemon. It's base 84 speed. So it's well above that 70. Oh, I think Salandit is 77, so well above that 70 base speed. This is 84, so even further above that base 70 speed. And it has shield dust, which means secondary effects of attacks just don't activate. So I can't be faked out if I have this ability. It can run supportive stuff, so I could speed swap onto Lilith. Actually, I'm not sure if it gets speed swap. Let's find out if it does. I hope it does. That'd be nuts. Do you get? Yeah, I get speed swap, so that's cool. So a bit of speed control there, which is really cool. And like has dual screens and maybe even stun spore or something like that. The other ability it has is Sweet Veil, so if my opponent has lots of sleep options, that could be an ability I'll run. But also gives me fairy coverage, which my team was kind of needing, and so now I'm going to be able to smack dragons around and smack fighting types around and stuff like that. Alright, my last pick is my tier 1, and it actually has the highest base stat total on my team, and I think it's really good. And it's, I've got no photo for it. It's farfetch'd Gala, so it's base 377, I think. Yeah, Vullaby was 370. Has such good coverage, and the fact that it has its own item in the leak, it means that there's less item pressure on the rest of my Pokemon. But you don't have to run leak. It's not like Cubone or Marowak, which kind of needs the Thick Club to do good damage. This is just a really good option to have to do damage, but not really essential. Has Scrappy, so you can't switch ghost types into the fighting attacks, which is really cool. And also, most important move I reckon in Little Cup is knockoff, and I actually have 2 knockoff users in Vullaby and Farfetch'd, so that's quite nuts. Getting rid of the Eviolite on a Pokemon, especially a bulky one, is super important. So yeah, ghost types can't switch into it. Its other ability is Steadfast. You could see me using it, but I'm not sure. That gives a +1 to speed if you get flinched. But yeah, has really good coverage. Has like Poison and Leaf Blade, which Leaf Blade plus the leak is 100% crit rate, which is freaking nuts. Yeah, has access to Steel and Flying and Dark. Yeah, really good Pokemon. Really good Pokemon. And I'm looking forward to using this guy too. The fact that I have 2 knockoff users mean I don't, similar to Fake Out, I don't have that knockoff pressure to have on one Pokemon. I can spread it out, which is good news for my Farfetch'd because I can run Night Slash then, which is again 100% crit rate when I have the leak attached. I've got quite a few priority moves across all my Pokemon, which is really good. Let's go back to the first. So I felt I've exploited tier 4 quite well, with 300 base stat total or more Pokemon, except for the Galarian Meowth. But I feel the value it has from its 2 abilities and the Steel typing makes up for that barely under base 300 stat total. I drafted Vullaby. I got a fuckload of Fake Out, so Squirtle, Meowth, Salandit, and Esper, which means I don't, that pressure's not on just 1 or 2 Pokemon. And I think I have pretty good bulk. Like Vullaby's got good bulk. Meowth Gala has okay bulk, but the Steel typing really helps there. Golett has pretty good bulk. Eevee's got good bulk. Kavana is absolutely fucking atrocious. Esper's got good bulk. Squirtle's definitely got good bulk. Salandit has got rubbish bulk, but not as bad as Kavana. Leaf's got fantastic bulk. Cutiefly also does not have very good bulk. And Farfetch'd actually has quite good bulk, especially on the special side, which I wasn't expecting. So, anyway, guys, let me just do one more thing. So let's have a big overview of my team. Get in there, you bugger. There we go. So here's my team. And this is in the order I drafted it in. So Vullaby, Esper was my second pick, into Galarian Meowth, Golett, Farfetch'd Gala, Salandit, Squirtle, Lilith, Eevee, Cutiefly, and Kavana. So that's it for me, guys. I'm logging off. I'm really looking forward to... I should have made this the right size so I don't look like a fucking idiot. I'm really looking forward to this league. The people in it are freaking awesome. Got some friends from other draft leagues in there. I've got some friends who I haven't played draft against. So, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. 3 Aussies. How good. Getting scheduling for them is going to be fucking mint. Anyways, that's it, guys. I'm logging off. I shall see you all next time.